Hello and welcome to another video from me, Chris at DBG. Obviously it's a late on week 2 getting this video out, but that's because it's my wife's birthday and just things take more priority. So let's have a look at week 2. There's some moment of silence. There's some painful games in our league that have happened, but let's have a look at it. Let's see how everyone done, and hopefully let's see how you did too. So that's right, week 2, a little bit late video, like I said, apologise for that. But let's go to Devil's Rush Gaming Team and let's have a look of how we done on week 2. And a rundown of how we feel week 3 is going to go. So week 2, as you can see, I got absolutely smashed. But there's a good reason for that. One, my team is injured all over the place. And some people played better than what they did, and my opposition team played exceptionally well than what everyone is expecting. So let's have a look for it. Josh Allen, obviously QB 1, 2 every week, doing pretty well. Geno Smith, 23 points coming out of nowhere really. If I can keep getting that back to Geno 22 late 2022 season, that'll be amazing. Travis Etienne, expecting more from him. Derrick Henry doing really well, but does have some turf toe, so it's still isn't questionable at the moment going into week 3, but still keep an eye on it because he might have some limitation. AJ Dillon, you're expecting a lot more because my player down here, Jones, was out, but didn't really do anything. T. Higgins, the only player in Cincinnati which was coming up with loads of points considering Burrow's injury. DJ Moore coming into stride as well, which is really good. Debo Samuel doing really well with Brian Ayuk being injured. It means there's a lot more ball play being seen by the wide receiver, and he generally had a really great game. Pittman, not too bad, 13-13, expecting that going forward. George Kittle, he needs to step up. He is not getting utilised at all. David Njoku is only 6 points. It's hit or miss for me on tight ends. I'm not too sure what I need to do. I haven't been able to bid or get a successful fab through for improving my tight ends. So just hoping for a touchdown, or I'm hoping for Tyler Conklin getting more of the ball with Jets as well. Probably by week 4 I'd expect to see that. Nico Collins doing a massive job for Houston, doing really well, and Herbert not doing great at all, but not expecting great things from him. And Shroud doing quite well, doing exceptionally well at 21 points, had a good game in Houston. Elijah Moore, only 6 points, not doing great. Eagles, 6 points, 1 more point than what it was expected. And Dallas Cowboys, defense number 1 of the season so far, 16 points from the 8 to projected. On the bench, could anything have changed? No. As you can see, I've got Eckler, Jones injured. Obviously lost Rogers last week as well, so don't know what is going to happen going forward. Yeah, we'll see. it's a painful thing going forward. On the other side, we got Dak and Isla White, 91 and 131. So Paul and Matthew Russ, my brother-in-law. First one for him, he's chuffed. He's got some good games coming forward. 2 heavy, great quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and Hurts, getting exactly what they need to do and keeping their players in. Alexander Patterson not doing particularly well and could be seen go over. Saquon Barkley had an amazing game and then got injured. Not expecting him to play, or wasn't expected to play. Anyway, obviously they were against 49ers on Thursday night football anyway on prime time. So Josh Kelly not really performing, only 3 points. Zach Moss doing exceptionally well actually with Taylor out. going forward, it could be a really good move for him. Zint Brown doing really well, suffering from a little bit of injury, but should still be playing. Hopkins again, not performing particularly well, suffering an injury, but should be playing as well. Clement Ridley just got held pretty much, but I'd expect him to bounce back quite well. Zay Flowers, he is the wide receiver 2 in this field, I feel, and it's actually getting a consistent points now. Is someone to watch out if he is on your waiver wire. Jake Ferguson is a solid. He's getting a good tight end. Prescott does like his tight ends. Speaking of good tight ends, Mike Andrews coming back, 15 points, going well for him. Dalvin Cook -1 point. He is not having good Jets at the moment. Breece Hall is definitely taking over there, but see how it goes forward. He's only just joined the team, so he could getting some more used to play. Chris with 14 points, doing well. No big booms at the moment, but exceptionally doing well. Herbert, 22 points, doing very well. He's a good QB. Very lucky to have both of those QBs in there. And on the other side, he had Richardson, who's now injured, which allowed me to put a bid in for Mijitsi, or whatever his name, Michu. Guy with Tash, who I absolutely love the look. See him going forward. Let's see how long Richardson is in the concussion protocol. He needs to learn how to protect himself more. Coming to the NFL, is the second time he's taken a big hit. Going forward, hopefully that's not the case, because he's a young talent and shows a lot of progress. Going forward, defenses, nothing really much to say. It's Commanders, 9 points, doing quite well, and then Broncos, yeah, not doing too well. On the bench, Kamak has obviously been transferred. Going forward, I don't know, his inefficiency doesn't really speak much volumes for me. Drake London doing quite well, 18 points. Could have changed a little bit of the game. Nothing else is really happening. And Bryce Young, QB on the team, he is also injured with Dalton coming in play. Not expecting great things, but could be a waiver wire if you need a QB. Gibson, Kamara should be back not too far, so he's a good bench for already what is arguably quite a scary team if it hits, depending on Barkley coming back, obviously, well and healthy from his possible high ankle sprain. Gabe Davis, he is hit or miss every time. He's doing quite well, or he's not, so let's see what it's going to go. And Tannehill getting 20 points unexpectedly there. Puka Nuyuka is doing exceptionally well. He is the new wide receiver 1 almost in the team, and yeah, he's taking over here while the main guy is still injured. We'll see what it's going to go through coming back. On the side, you've got Fanet Wanderers and Birds. 151 is a massive score. Obviously 114 you see for Fanet Wanderers. Only really notable difference on this is Tua is come back down a little bit. Reality, he's doing okay, 11 points. Kirk Cousins having a great game, Mr. Reliable, but not Mr. Prime. Gibbs should be expecting a big game with Montgomery out this week. Michelle White having 21 points, coming from nowhere really. Was not expecting that. Say it's come back to reality moving forward, but then Mayfield is doing exceptionally well. He's no Brandy, but he is doing really well. He's moving the posts, he's getting the scores, and Tampa Bay are 2-0 at the moment. So going forward, Miles Sanders only 7 points. It's Cleveland. Not Cleveland. Carolina Panthers. It's a tough team to play for at the moment. There's a lot of problems in that team still. Kenneth Walker, 18 points, doing really well. Brandon Adams doing exceptionally well at 20 points, and I would expect that going forward as well. AJ Brown, only 6 points, but I'd expect bounce back quite quickly. Waddle is ruled out for week 3, so if it's on your bench or on your team, make sure he goes in your RIR spot so you can pick up a player on the waiver if you need to. Garrett Wilson back and doing quite well at 17 points. Higbee only 4, and Travis Kelce is always going to be your tight M1 going forward as well, doing really well there. Swift had an exceptional game going forward. We'll see what he is like, and I think you're just going to expect bigger games as he gets more and more to go. He's got a lot of talent as well. Mike Evans, no one expected him to do so well. Massively underrated, but hey, he can perform with any QB, it seems, and best of luck to him. Hopefully not too much when I get to play birds. Tom Brock Birdie, it's a friendly offense, let's be honest. QB friendly offense for 49ers. He's got a safe floor because of the team has got so many weapons. 14 is probably a little bit low for him, but he should be going through. Matthew Stafford, it's got a good team. Expecting go forward should be a bit better. 49ers are a tough game going forward. Browns defense only 9 and Colts at 7 respectively. Chris Kurt had a bounce back. Here's probably a noticeable difference there. And I see Mike Kyle Williams doing exceptionally well, being the replacement for Eckler. So go forward there. On the other side, the only person that had any difference at all was Riddle at 20 points, and Sky Moore at 16. Could be their number 1 wide receiver at Kansas City, but Mahomes throws all over the place to the wide receivers. The only person who's the main person on that team is Kelce, let's be honest. So it's hard to predict going forward who's going to get what. And then with that, we've got 121 to 134 in favour of Jonathan at Tampa and Ramsgate Ravens. High scoring, 121 points. Could have beaten a lot of other teams, but unfortunately just came against a better team. And 144 would have lost against other teams as well. So, but majority is still a really high score going forward. Prescott 19. Watson early 11. Tony Pollard 19, expecting going forward, same as Christian McCaffrey. They're always going to be up there and you're always going to start them. Stevenson 15 points, that's what we like. We want him moving forward, moving the chains. He's doing well, just got to get more opportunities there at New York. James Cook, wasn't expecting big things, to be honest. Moving forward, he is someone always to consider depending on who they play. I think if they're going to be, because they're a high passing offense, if they're going to be in the lead against the teams, then a lot of play or garbage points to where, but they're going to tick up, is always going to be in favour of Cook. So keep it going forward. Diggs on the outside as wide receiver at 13 points, and CeeDee Lamb had a field day against the New York Jets at 25 points. Going forward, he has got a great relationship with Prescott. He is the wide receiver 1 in that team, and I think he could be wide receiver 3 going forward overall. Terry McKinnon, 16 points. Turf toe doesn't seem to be affecting him at the moment, so doing really well. DK Metcalf, 13 points, sort of the consistency that you expect from him. Pat Fry, you expect more as a tight end, but not so 2 points this week, but expected sort of the base level of 9 or 10 going forward. While expecting more points from him, but then there's just massive issues at the moment at New York. So yeah, I can't trust anyone on that team really, apart from Saquon Barkley. And Mike Williams at 16 points, doing really well, and Adrian Cooper was predicted to be out, but played anyway and got 16 points, so did quite well on that. Should be going forward, should be alright. Baker Mayfield 17 points and Carr 7. Mayfield doing really well. He's not a high flyer, but he's going to get some points for you. And Hunter Henry is tight end top 12 in my opinion, and someone I tried to pick up but just didn't bid enough on Fab. If he's on your waiver wire, get him. He's a great tight end, and actually his consistency, he is Jones's main player he's throwing to at the moment, so I'd keep him. Going forward, he's doing really well. Anything else that would have changed? Warren, Najee Harris is possibly going to lose his majority in Pittsburgh for running to Warren. They're very similar players, and I think it's going to be turned more a committee moving forward, so it's a good player to watch out for. Oriental Lovers and Badlands, 123, still getting high points, but unfortunately Tony is coming against the players opposition that are getting more. That's basically it. So Justin Fields is okay, expecting more points on the run, but not getting there. Barrett, there's something wrong, isn't there, at Bengals in the moment? And Barrett is definitely injured and still trying to play through something, so I don't know if they're going to rest him possibly going forward, so definitely keep out that news. Josh Jacobs is not the same team it was last year, and this is his baseline, I feel, going forward, sort of that 11 to 15 points. You're hoping for a touchdown to go forward, or a break to get the higher points. Same for Mixon as well. Breece Hall didn't play very well. There was just nothing, wasn't there? Jets just got steamrolled by Dallas, so that's what I expected. Going forward, he's a great player. You're going to get points, so don't worry too much. Don't go on the don't be worried. That's what I'd say. David Montgomery is playing with an injury, so expect Gibbs to be taking the majority. It's his time to shine in week 3. Let's see what's going to happen. Chase just not really clicking with Burrow at the moment. It's just something wrong on that offense line, but we'll see how it's going through. Justin Jefferson is a great player. He's wide receiver 1 every week, doing exceptionally well. Smith doing what AJ Brown couldn't get, but it's only a couple of plays and AJ Brown scores similar points, or a couple of those catches. There was a couple of catches that were pulled back because of penalties, and it would have got a lot more points saved. But Smith, an excellent game. Going forward, you wouldn't expect that score, but if it's a tight game, he's going to score. You know, Philadelphia are leaking points, but you know they've got great offensive weapons to help out there, which really helps. If it's close games, you're scoring points, or high-scoring close games. Anyway, Kieran Allen is doing exceptionally well at the moment. 31 points, just scoring all over the place. It's doing great. Dallas Goedert, 8 points. Yes, all right. A lot better than Pitts. Anyway, I'm pretty much time to leave Pitts now. There's something going wrong. It's just not good. Taylor Lockett. It's either DJ Metcalf or Taylor Lockett who's going to pick up the big points. I think Lockett has got more of the big playability at the moment. But he's always up there. Brandon Ayuk suffering from an injury in week 3, so and we saw that as well. So going forward, Cleveland just did everything right against Bengals, even though the score was really close. It was all defense. It was scoring everything. Going forward, Pittsburgh are a good defense, but they've also not got a great offense. As you can see, they're leaking points. So if this defense is not scoring or getting the turnovers, I think the points are going to rack up and cause the points to be worse. So play dependently. Bills 11 points. They're always going to score high depending who they're playing against. On the bench, George Pickens could have won it for him. Yeah, quite easily. There was some changes there. He's not always just a one-handed Superman catch. You know, he's doing quite well in that baseline. So I think going forward, actually, he can do quite well. So let's see. On the other hand, Adam Thielen, a bit of a freak score with 20 points. And going forward, he's not someone you're expecting that sort of many points, but definitely keep an eye out because he is being watched in the red zone. So you're always relying on that touchdown to get the upside, but he doesn't have much of a safe floor, in my opinion. Mostert actually starting pretty well, and he is pushed everyone aside. He is the one running back one, arguably which should have been a committee at the start of the year. I think he's starting to take over now at Miami, so it'll be good to watch out for that. And the last game, Hitman at 95 points and Chicago at 135. Trevor Lawrence just not doing well. When you've got Patrick Mahomes, you need to equal that with your other QB, or you're already way behind. 21 points, it's just consistent scoring for Mahomes. He is always going to do something magical with the ball. BJ Robertson, he is storming and being an amazing running back. Expecting more from Taylor Algier, but Robinson is definitely taking over a little bit more. We'll have to watch out. He's just too strong. He's doing exceptional. Najee Harris, only 5 points. He is not doing very well, and he's close to losing his running back one majority over there as well. Nick Chubb. Let's have that moment of silence for Nick Chubb. Awful injury. He is out for the season with a horrific knee injury. It's a shame because I was really close to getting Nick Chubb. I had Nick Chubb last year. I always try and get him. He's a really, really exceptionally talented running back, and he is very much missed in Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns going forward. They've just got Hunt back. I think he is going to take over very quickly there, even though you've got Johnson, is it? The other running back, I can't remember his name. They'll do by committee, as Kareem Hunt is. He knows the play, and he's come back, so they've put him in there for a reason. They still run very secure offensive line, and they can protect the ball very quickly for the running back. So expect some good scores for Hunt going forward. I think he's quite good. We could still, if he's on the waivers at all, we shouldn't be, then get him. James Conner, 16 points going forward. Good game for him. Judy, not so great, only 5 points. Hill is suffering from an injury, but will be playing week 3, I believe, with no problems. Especially with Waddle out, it's his opportunity to really shine, but it does mean that he's going to get a lot of coverage. This is not anyone trying to get the speeds of Waddle, so that's why I'm thinking Mostert might be doing a lot more play, a lot more runs, or more slot receiver roles, and Tyler Hill just hammering it down. So expect some big points going for him in week 3. Johnson not doing very well. Terry McHugh, I'm getting names wrong all over. I'm tired. He's doing okay, and he's waiting for big play potential. So not doing quite well there. Chris Godwin, obviously with Evans just storming and being great. He's a good safe floor for your wide receiver 2 or 3, but don't expect massive things for him. If he gets a touchdown, he's scoring good points there. Ingram, 11 points. Expecting that sort of going forward. He is getting looked at by Jacksonville quite well, and he is on the field a lot as a tight end as well. Speaking of which, who is on the field a lot in tight end terms is TJ Hawkinson. 25 points. He easily could be the tight end 1. Could he take over Kelsey? Maybe. I think Kansas City Kelsey is just still recovering from that little bit of injury at the start of the year, but by come the end he'll be fine. And TJ Hopkins could be number 1. He's definitely number 2 overall, I think. Jamal Williams still coming back. It doesn't look particularly great, but going forward he will start to get more and more involved going forward. And where am I? Anderson, 16 points. Minnesota doing quite well there as well. It's just a passing heavy game. The games are close. Kurt's great at passing short routes and sort of mid balls as well. So the players are going to rack up the points quite quickly. Any wide receiver is probably worth a star in Minnesota. Daniel Jones finally switched on how to play and brought about a fantastic win. Took 6 quarters for New York to come back, but obviously hasn't done very well against Cincinnati, so I won't support much there. Going forward is helping me with Daniel Jones. He can do great and then absolutely destroy your team next week. I think it's just too much of a gamble week on, week off. Jared Goff, not so much of a gamble. He is pretty secure there. There's so much weapons and Lions. They're doing quite well. Otherwise, on the bench, Brian Robson is taking over there. 28 points, doing exceptionally well for Washington. Doing great. Somehow, again, Washington, 20 points for the QB, doing really well there. Marcus Brown, 17 points, doing well over there. We don't expect that sort of going forward. And Jordan Love, when is the respect going to go to Jordan Love? He is doing exceptionally well with the weapons around him, and it only takes Jones to come back, and suddenly they are going even better. Week 3, my team is a little bit healthier, but I've still got Eckler out. Jones is questionable. Henry is now confirmed. I've got Josh Reynolds I've got on the bench. I've got a waiver for Matt, New York Giants and Matt. Wasn't expecting big things from him from Cincinnati, so I didn't start him. But going forward, depending on Barkley, it could be interesting, hopefully. And I got Mitch Gardner. I can't say his surname, sorry. Mitchie. I've got him as well, getting that QB because he is the replacement coming in for Anthony. Do I expect to win this match? I don't, because I've got still three key players that are recovering from injury. I've got obviously Jones might be questionable, might not even be there, and I have Henry, who said he's good to go, but I think they could limit him, so I don't really expect most things. And Eckler is out, so don't know how long for. Has there been any update at all? No news so far that I've seen. So, but if Josh Kelly's there, he is your key number 1 wide receiver going into a massive start for Los Angeles for the Chargers. So we'll see what's going forward. I am playing Oriental Lovers. It is a tight game. Even though he has lost both, Tony has scored high points on all of his games, and he is no exception here. We are still close in theory on paper, 112 and 119, but then anything could happen. You know, Jets could get. New England's going to be a high-scoring game. Could Burrow actually do anything and Chase actually perform? Jacobs against Pittman, Pittsburgh could tend to been quite well against the run, so we'll see how that goes. And Justin Field against Kansas City could be a really dominating game where Justin Fields has to run, has to pass the ball. Obviously there is problems there, as he says that his managers are not letting him cook. He just needs to go off. George Pickens is on the bench. Would I swap him with anyone? No, I don't think I would, because Tyler Lockett against Panthers should be scoring high games, and between Smith against Tampa Bay, which could be a shootout, and Chase should be scoring more points in theory. So there's not much there, and me, depending on what happens with Jones, it either means that Henry goes in there, which I might swap around. Now Henry's confirmed, because then I can swap someone in there before the lineup, which is what I'll do actually. There's something that people always forget is if you've got super flex spots and things like that, but you've got guaranteed running back and not guaranteed running back, put that non-guarantee in your flex spot or your extra flex spot. So if you do get a notification that player is out, at least then you can swap in. Otherwise you'll be locked. So let's do that now. Saved. It's quite like this one. It just saves automatically rather than on the app. You got to press save. For players, there isn't many left that I could think of that are going to be good. Going forward, it is what it is. Yeah, so many players that are out or injured at the moment. It is horrible to predict what's going to happen. We'll see. I mean, play consistent as everyone's adding. Tank at the moment because of his last performance. But then Houston, all the wide receivers had a good game. Is Tank Bell going forward as a consistent stash? No, it's just high risk, high reward, which it pretty much says there. So I wouldn't expect high targets going forward for him, but we'll see. But that's everything for scorecards. Wish me luck on week 3. Wish you luck on week 3. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know any players that you're fancy trying to get a steal or who you think are going to be exceptionally good. But yeah, let's see and let's go forward like that. Best of luck. Please like, subscribe, all of that jazz. And if you have Chubb in your team, sorry. Start trading, start getting away with wire. Hopefully you can get a replacement for him, because I know he would have been your running back 1. Hopefully you can recover from it. But overall, wish you all the best of luck. Happy hobbying and happy football. Bye for now.